really, what we should have been playing was something that says, who hurt you? Because that's what I want to know. Paul Pierce, former NBA, Paul Pierce was a star, you know, Inglewood's own. He's an NBA champion, you know, one of LA's finest when you think of athletics. I mean, really, because he really is Boston's, but you know, he's ours. He was created here. Um, he's been wilding out on his podcast, Truth After Dark. And, you know, Paul has, you know, been divorced for a couple years now. We know he likes the libations. And so he broke out with an opinion that is not something that we haven't heard before, but it's just like, Paul, why? Why, Paul? So we'll get into what Paul Pierce had to say about women once they reach 30. You got Paul Pierce, NBA champion Paul Pierce, Inglewood's own, although the chat is saying we really can't fully claim him anymore. He's Boston's, which, you know, I get it. I feel it. But he's from LA, right? Right down the street. He has a podcast called The Truth After Dark, right? And we've seen some of Paul's proclivities. If you remember a few years back, was that during the pandemic when that happened, when he got fired from ESPN? I don't know if it was that long ago, but remember he had the strippers shaking booty. He was playing cards, taking a little hit of the green lettuce and drinking, right? It was an RN night. And he was fired from ESPN subsequently because of that. But now he has a podcast that is called The Truth After Dark, in addition to his FS1 duties, where, you know, they discuss off the court things, mostly relationship issues. And like any other podcast bro with a mic. Yeah, he's a podcast bro. At this point. He gets into these relationship topics with his, you know, let's say, what do we want to call Paul's takes? Misogynistic, maybe? A little bit. Rich guy syndrome. He seems a little bitter sometimes. You know, it's like, who hurt you, Paul? Maybe your ex-wife. I did hear she took a lot of money in the divorce. I don't know. You know, still got child support. He's not happy about that. And anyway, they have these conversations. He has a co-host. His co-host is younger than Paul. I think, how old is Paul? Paul is like 45, 46 now, I think. And, you know, like I mentioned, he is divorced. And it was a rough divorce. Paul is 47. Way too old to be having these conversations. He's another one like Shannon Sharp talking about he ain't dating no older women. Right? And older, I'm not talking even about women his age. He's not dating women in their 30s, right? Why? Because he says that when women reach 30, they're washed. They're cooked. Game over, right? So I'm going to let you hear. Oh, by the way, he was married for 13 years, but they were together for about, I want to say 16, 17 years total. They were together a little bit before they got married. Paul was in them streets. He openly admits to it. He was in them streets while they were dating. He was in them streets while they were married. He said part of the problem, I'm setting this up because I want you guys to understand the full scope and context of where the truth is at this moment in time as he is delivering these sermons, right? So he said that children changed the relationship because he didn't understand. Sounds like he had a bit of jealousy over the kids because, you know, when you're married and you have children, sometimes the focus switches. It's not just you and bae anymore. It's you, bae, and a baby. And some men aren't prepared for the lack of attention that they get because the wife is taking care of the young child. Paul was one of those men. He said it, not me. He admitted to it, okay? You could go find it. So he's been having a lot of expressions about, you know, marriage, women, wife. He said his woman wasn't doing what he was used to doing, and so he went and got what he was missing elsewhere. Okay. So that's basically the scenario that led to the divorce. So now this is what he has to say about women who are 30 and up as far as dating potential.
I'm just tired of these females who cooked after 30. I'm going to say it like that. Cooked.
Okay, so you're personally attacking me, so I would like to know.
How am I attacking you?
Because I'm after 30, so I'm cooked.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen.
I'm crying.
Yes, dog. Listen, dog. Guys is over here like, yo, prime is 25 to 30. Let's keep it 100.
But let me say this. I hear exactly what you're saying, right? I've heard it before. People have said it. Women age like milk, men age like fine wine. I've heard it 1,000 times, right? For me personally, I'm going to say this. Me, maybe I am cooked, but you know what? I'm cooked and it tastes delicious because I was not given what I needed to give when I was in my 20s. I didn't know my body. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know how to suck. I didn't know how to throw it back. Now I could do all of those things plus more. I understand who I am as a woman. My emotional maturity is here. And at the end of the day, I know that it feels like there's women who are jaded because they've been with so many men and now they're cooked. I understand that perspective. But personally, for me, I feel so into my bag as a 30-year-old because...
And then after 34, 35, man, think about this. When I cook some food, all right, it's cooked, right? Now I ate some, then it's leftovers. Then I put it in the refrigerator. After so many days, you got to throw it out. You know what I'm saying?
This is crazy.
Like, how long do Thanksgiving food last after Thanksgiving? How many days we giving it? 3? Then you throw it out. So that means if you cooked at 30, 35, we got to throw it out.
So, what are we doing with the 47-year-old man, Paul, whose beard still doesn't connect? But I'm just saying, Paul is coming for the ladies, and I'm not gonna stand for it.
Look, I wish he would have went maybe a little bit more in depth. You know what I'm saying? He just said at 30 and you're cooked. Like, but why?
Right. That's one thing, right? But I don't have to guess why. I know what he's talking about. He is implying, there's a little sag where there used to be a little bounce, a little 1 and 2. He's probably saying mentally, right? The women aren't moldable after that. They probably been through a heartbreak or two. They know what they like, what they don't like, as his co-host alluded to, right? Know their bodies. So you're not just going to accept anything. And that's not even saying that as if someone's trying to dog you, but just if you're in a relationship, right? And it is your first or second relationship, right? Maybe you haven't had that many. And your man goes, hey, I don't really do the Valentine's Day thing. I'm not big on gifts. Christmas, maybe your birthday, but we don't really got to do all of that. And Valentine's Day, absolutely not, right? But later on, you find out in your next relationship, after you find out he didn't do Valentine's Day because he was spread thin and he didn't want to gift everybody with gifts or something like that, cheap, didn't have it, didn't like you like that, whatever the reason, right? And you get with a guy and he does all the things you like for Valentine's Day. He gets you chocolate, flowers, a card, something nice, whatever, right? And you're like, hey, I really like this. So you're not going to go for a guy saying, I don't really do the Valentine's Day thing, because that doesn't work for you. I'm talking about that type of stuff. It may seem small, but I'm just saying those little things, you may not be able to manipulate a woman in the same way that you could when she's in her 20s and may not know as much, right? But let's be clear. He's talking about looks going off a cliff. Because what is the old adage? Women get old, men become distinguished as they age. You heard his co-host alluding to the same thing, kind of similar. He's basically saying everything ain't tight and right no more. Although with surgery, I don't know why that matters. But he has to be real with himself. Paul, do you think these young ladies are with you because you are virile and so sexy in your late 40s? And that's not a diss. I'm not saying he's an unattractive man. He's not in shape or any of that. I am just asking, realistically speaking, do you think all of these 20-year-olds want you for your charming wit? Or is it the potential that you might drop a bag? If you're cool with that, that's fine, right? Probably not having a lot of conversation. I'm just saying that based off of the things I've seen on the podcast. Not that I'm questioning his intellectual greatness. I'm just saying he doesn't seem like he's interested in having a lot of conversations. I just think that he's in a time frame where he's feeling a little bitter, whatever didn't happen with his man. Oh, but here's the thing, though. He's been divorced for about 5 or 6 years now. So really, he should be past it. He was out the door before he was divorced. So, I mean, ease up on the ladies. The chat is going in. The chat has a lot to say. Let me get to some of this commentary because it's busy. Morris Phillips says Paul hasn't done anything for Inglewood and the Inglewood Unified School District. I mean, listen, the Inglewood Unified School District has had some issues. Royal Jenkins said, hey, Paul's not the truth. Morris Phillips also said Paul sounds like he smoked a bleezy. Just listen to it. I mean, I did mention that he was, highest giraffe scooter on that on that video that he put on his live stream that time. He's known to have a little vape, and, I don't think that is too far of a stretch. But I think even if he was dead sober, he'd probably still feel this way because he seems to be dealing with some emotions and some feelings. Who hurt you, Paul? We know your ex-wife probably, but who else? Terry says Paul can do it that way that Elon Musk does. Elon has 6 kids and he isn't married. Paul, I think, has 3 or 4 children. Listen, Royal Jenkins says I'm roasting Paul. I'm not roasting. I actually enjoy Paul. He makes me laugh. Yeah. So, Paul secretly is a lover boy. He wants you to be up in his face a little bit.
Hey, look. We like that attention too. Be up in our face. Don't be in everybody else's face. Be up in my face.
But here's the thing, right? Cool. I feel that I could do that for you. I could be up in your face, But, babe, are you going to be up in my face back? Are you going to be up in my face and up in Chick 2B's face tomorrow with the same game?
So there's no reciprocation?
Yes, but like kind of, but not really, right? Like I just feel like the thirst should be mutual. I don't feel like it should be heavier on one side where one person feels like they're low key begging. I don't like it. I don't like that. So, Terry says now the older women are dating young men and young men love it. I mean, listen. Shout out to Drea Michelle. Shout out to Tay Heckert. Shout out to, who else? Keisha Cole. Shout out to, it's a bunch of them out there that got them a little young tender on the line. That's not a new thing, though. It's been going around for a long time. But the conversation, even with that, is not, yeah, he's with this older, refined woman. It's like, yeah, you want to have his fun, have the experience, and move around. Do you know what I'm saying? That's how a lot of people put it out there. And Drea's catching heck about, her little baby's daddy. And he looks so happy and in love. They put up a video the other day. He was holding her hand. I can't remember what song he was playing. Some song about a baddie in the background. And he was showing Drea. And Drea was there looking all fine and body is tea, right? And still people in the comments, she looks like his mom. Maybe so, but I bet you your mama don't look like that.
Was it the women or was it the men making those comments?
I'm gonna say it was both.
Okay.
There's a little bit of both. I think that there might be some women that are a little envious that a woman that is 40, a 2-time before she had this latest child, baby mama, and is, friendly, free, right? It's upsetting to some women. and some men sometimes, when they see a woman like that continue to win, I put win in quotes, right? That can be upsetting to some women because they feel like she wasn't a good girl. We're always told that being a good girl is the way to win. And a lot of times that just isn't true, unfortunately. You know, the people that were deemed as the undesirable ones, the ones that aren't going to win, they're going to win a couple times too. You just